Good day, ma'am and sir. We are the researchers from Humanities and Social Sciences. We are here to present Research Colloquium.
The title of our research is The Impact of Graphic Advertisement on Cigarette Packages to the Perception of the Selected Users in Santa Maria, Laguna. Many people smoke tobacco every day. Most of them are boys, and though the price of different cigarettes increase, they still keep using it. Cigarette smoking became their daily habit. That is why it is hard for them to stop using it. According to Van Dessel et al. 2018, smoking is the leading cause of preventable death and diseases worldwide. The Republic Act No. 10643, or known as the Graphic Health Warning Law, was enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the Philippines in Congress assembled to protect and promote the right to health of the people and instill health consciousness among them. This study aimed to give the people information regarding the adverse effect of cigarettes. It also wanted to address the changes when the graphic advertisement added to the cigarette packages.
Nowadays, even the cigarette is costly, still teenagers use it. Most of it are the boys who are 15 and above. The cigarette that they are using is ordinary cigarettes. According to Federal Cigarette Labeling and Advertising Act of 1965, Public Law 89-92 required that the warning or caution on cigarette smoking may be hazardous to your health be placed in small print on one of the side panels of each cigarette package. This is the example of cigarette pack with graphic advertisement. According to World Health Organization, they estimated that 10 Filipinos die every hour due to cancer, stroke, lung, and health diseases brought on by cigarette pack smoking. The study will found out the perception of the people who are using cigarettes with graphic advertisement.
The related theory about the impact of graphic advertisement on cigarette packages to the perceptions of the users in the understanding how graphic pictorial warning works on cigarette packaging by Kiss J. 2010. It shows that effectiveness of pictorial warnings that vary in their graphic depictions of warning and an underlying mechanism proposed to drive potential effectiveness of the manipulation of the graphics depictions. Therein, the findings indicate that more graphics pictorial warning depictions than smoke intention to quit smoking. The warning message statement is reduced by moderately or highly graphic.
Conceptual framework. Cigarette with graphic ads on its packages have been implemented to show the adverse effects of using cigarettes. People nowadays, especially the cigarette users, are already aware to those harmful effects of cigarette smoking, especially when it comes to their health, since the Philippine country enforced the Republic Act 10643 or Graphic Health Warning Law, wherein the graphic advertisements added on cigarette packs. This study will identify the relationship between the graphic advertisements on cigarette packs to the perception of the cigarette users. It can possibly prevent and lessen the people who are using cigarettes because of the cooperation of the people, especially the residents of Santa Maria, Laguna, and they become more aware regarding this topic.
The interplay between the independent variable, intervening variable, and dependent variable model for the impact of graphic ads on cigarette packs to the perception of the users in Santa Maria. Statement of the problem. This study will determine the impact of graphic advertisement on cigarette packs to the perception of the residents in Santa Maria, Laguna. 1. What is the demographic profile of the users in terms of gender, age, and civil status? 2. What is the impact of the graphic advertisement to the users? 3. What is the perception of the users in graphic advertisement on cigarette packs? 4. Is there any significant relationship between the demographic profile of the users to their perception? 5. Is there any significant effect between the impact of graphic ads on cigarette packs to the perception of users?
Let's now proceed to the significance of the study. This study will seek to determine the perception of the users to the graphic advertisement on cigarette packages. This study will be beneficial to the following. Students, this study will serve as a basis for the students in the near future. This study will also serve as a guide about the level of perception of the users in graphic advertisement in cigarette packages. Teachers, this study can be a basis to their teachings when it comes to a topic that are connected with this research. This will also serve as a guide and they will gather some background information regarding the graphic advertisement on cigarette packages. Residents. This research will find valuable for the residents of Santa Maria Laguna because they will have enough knowledge and awareness regarding why graphic advertisement added on cigarette packages. Future researchers. This study will be beneficial to the future researchers because it will give knowledge, information, and elaboration to their research regarding this topic. This will also serve as their future reference since it has relevant topic. Let's now move on to scope and limitation of the study. This study will focus on determining the impact of graphic advertisement on cigarette packages to the perception of the users. This will also use purposive sampling and checklist questionnaire in gathering data because this is quantitative research. It will focus on 60 selected participants who are using cigarettes from the municipality of Santa Maria Laguna. The frequency, percentage, and weighted mean will be utilized as statistical tools for analyzing the gathered data. The duration of the study will be from January 2020 to June 2021.
Definition of terms. The following terms are the words that will be frequently seen in the study are defined in order to easily understand the study. Addiction. Psychological and physical inability to stop consuming a chemical, drug activity even though it is causing psychological and physical problem. Fellman 2018. Operationally, it is an act of not having a control with the use of cigarettes. Awareness. Knowledge and understanding that something is happen or exists. Merriam-Webster 2020. Operationally, it refers to the knowledge and understanding of the people regarding the aim of graphic brand and design, defined as one of the crucial marketing practices of creating the name, logo, design, and the symbolic elements related to the brand. Hardy 2019. Operationally, it pertains to the new design that are found on cigarette packs. Cigarette packs. Rectangular container which contains cigarette. The box is designed with a flavor protective foil, paper or plastic and sealed through a transparent, airtight plastic film. Dave Mack 2020. Operationally, it is the package that contains cigarettes. Graphic advertisement. An image advertising aims at creating a favorable mental picture of the product in the mind of customer. Yu Jumla 2008. Operationally, it is a pictorial image that added on cigarette packs. Impact. The action of the one object coming forcibly into contact with another influence. Lexico.com 2020. Operationally, it is the outcome of graphic advertisement on cigarette packs to the users. Intervention is the act of inserting one thing between other like a person trying to help. Cambridge University Press 2020. Operationally, it refers to the people who cares about the health effect of using cigarettes. Perception is a thought, belief, or opinions often held by many people and based on appearances. Cambridge University Press 2020. Operationally, it is pertaining to the thought, belief, or opinions of the respondent regarding the graphic advertisement on cigarette packs. Resident, a person who lives somewhere permanently or a long-term basis. Oxford 2020. Operationally, it pertains to the people lived in Santa Maria Laguna. Cigarette users, a person who habitually smoke tobacco. Dictionary.com LLC 2020. Operationally, it is pertaining to the residents of Santa Maria Laguna who are using cigarettes. Smoking, a practice in which a substance is burned and the resulting smoke breathed to be tested and absorbed into a bloodstream. Analguser 2020. Operationally, it is a process of using cigarette, tobacco, a preparation of the nicotine-rich leaves of an American plant which are cured by a process of drying and fermentation for smoking or chewing. Lexico 2020. Operationally, it is one of the chemicals found in a cigarette that can also cause death to the users.
Chapter 2. Review of related literature and studies. This chapter discusses different related literature and studies which further give additional knowledge and information to easily analyze and comprehend the study. Related literature. According to Azagbada and Sharrock, 2013, there is a substantial literature that graphic tobacco warnings are effective. However, there is limited evidence based on actual smoking behavior. They found that graphic warning had a statistically significant effect on smoking prevalence and quit attempts. The study adds to the growing body of evidence of the effectiveness of graphic warnings. The findings suggest that warnings had a significant effect on smoking prevalence and quit attempts in Canada. On the other hand, White et al. 2008 stated that the graphic warning labels on cigarette packages are noticed by the majority of adolescents. Increased adolescents' cognitive processing of these messages and have the potential to lower smoking intentions. The findings suggest that the introduction of graphic warning labels may help to reduce smoking among adolescents. However, the study of Cantrell J. et al. 2003 about the impact of tobacco-related health warning labels across socioeconomic, race, and ethnic groups result from a random web-based experiment shows that the surveys and experimental research in the US and other countries support the effectiveness of pictorial health warning labels compared with text-only warnings. For informing smokers about the risk of smoking and encouraging cessation, it has examined that there are differences in reactions to warning labels by race or ethnicity, education or income, despite evidences that population subgroups may differ in their ability to process health information. In summation, the study says that the pictorial warning labels are more effective than text-only warnings. As stated by Gavilliamer A. et al. 2015, television advertisement, packaging regulations, and health warning labels are designed to communicate anti-smoking messages to large number of smokers. However, these warning messages did not prompt to quit attempts, and participants, while skeptical about the effectiveness of cessation programs such as telephone quit lines, many expressed false and self-accepting beliefs toward the harm of tobacco. In extent, some people are not well convinced about the information given by the television. As indicated by Anis K. et al. 2017, the study experimentally tests whether the type of anti-smoking ad and the context in which ads are viewed influence people's reactions to the ads. The study shows that graphic advertisement elicited higher perceived effectiveness and more effective dissonance than intended emotion ads. Anti-smoking ads fared best when viewed alone. The graphic ads were least influenced by the context in which they were viewed. The results suggest that in developing point of sale or POS campaigns, it is important to consider the competitive pro-tobacco context. In addition, non-maker J et al. 2016 examined the potential impact of banning tobacco displays and mandating plant packaging and cigarette advertisement, the point of sale or POS, on adult outcomes. The main outcomes was participants self-reported urge to smoke and tobacco purchase. Attempts in the virtual store, it shows that policies that banned the display of tobacco product or require plain packaging and advertising at the point of sale may help reduce adult smoking. According to Manales E. et al., the studies selected for review likely underestimate the true impact of pictorial warnings, such as on plain packs. Other studies much impact research of the view may miss the well-understood finding that pictorial warning are more effective than the text.
Let's move to related studies. According to Niederdepp J. et al. 2018, the exposure to cigarette advertising can increase the likelihood of youth smoking initiation and may encourage people who already smoke to stop. Requiring prominent graphic warning labels could reduce these effects. In summation, the study says that the graphic warning labels can encourage the people who are using cigarette to stop. However, Martino SC et al. 2018 says that the experiment tested whether the presence of graphic health warning labels on cigarette packages deterred adult smoker from purchasing cigarette at retail point of sale or POS, and whether individual difference variables moderated this relationship. The study shows that the adult smokers have been reduced buying of cigarette because of the presence of graphic health warning on cigarette packages. In accordance with Susanna D. et al. 2018, pictorial health warnings perceived as more effective in deterring smoking initiations among non-smokers and as well as stimulating smoking cessation among smokers. In extent, the study says that the pictorial health warning became an effective way in preventing the use of cigarettes. As studied by Francis D.V. et al. 2018, the systematic review of graphic warning labels on tobacco products are effective across a wide range of tobacco-related outcomes aiming young people. Gaps in the literature include the lack of research on tobacco initiation and cessation and a depth of literature of non-cigarette tobacco products. Although the study shows that the graphic warning labels become effective. While according to Van Dessel P. et al. 2019, graphic warnings on cigarette packs are widely used internationally with the aim of reducing smoking behavior. In the current study, the researcher investigated whether the graphic warnings influence implicit evaluation of smoking. A potential moderator of smoking behavior measured showed a result that viewing a graphic warning did not produce more negative implicit evaluation of smoking for daily smokers, occasional smokers, or non-smokers compared to viewing a text-only warning. However, Mastriani B. 2019 says that there are 13 proposed new labels that the Food and Drug Administration announced. The labels that the Food and Drug Administration announced contain large graphic depictions of some of the negative health effects smoking can be. Fong J.T. et al. 2009 state that cigarette packages in most countries carry a health warning. However, the position size and general strength of these warnings vary considerably across jurisdictions. Hence, the University of Pennsylvania 2016 cigarette warning labels featuring photos of real smokers who were harmed by their habit are more effective in getting smokers to quit than the text-only labels currently in use. In summation, this says that the new featured photo added on cigarette packages are more effective than the text-only labels. Consequently, innovation in tobacco control interventions are required to ensure continued reductions in global tobacco use and to minimize attributable morbidity and mortality. The researchers aim to investigate the perceived effectiveness of current cigarette packaging warnings across countries. The finding of this study suggests that cigarette packaging warnings may experience a loss of effectiveness over time, eventually resulting in minimal impact on smoker behavior. Health and non-health focused warnings and messages on individual cigarette sticks represent a novel and potentially effective method for reducing tobacco control preventions currently employed, resulting in public health benefits. Giovanni A. et al. 2009. As mentioned by De Vera A. 2018, graphic health warnings on cigarette packages have proven to be effective in informing smokers about the dangers of smoking. Let's move on to Chapter 3, Research Methodology. This chapter presents the research design, subject of the study, population of the study, data gathering procedure, and statistical treatment of data. Local of the study. The study will be conducted at the Municipality of Santa Maria, District of Laguna. Research design. The researchers will use quantitative research design and descriptive method to explain and show the impact of adding graphic advertisement on cigarette packs. This method helped to find the information needed for this research. The main purpose of this study is to know the benefits and impact of putting graphic advertisement on cigarette packs. Let's now move on to population and sampling. The study will consist of 60 selected users from the municipality of Santa Maria Laguna. The researchers will also use purposive sampling to get the respondents in the said municipality.
Let's proceed to instrumentation. To get the information from the respondents, the researchers will use checklist questionnaires in getting and gathering data. The questionnaires was designed and translated into Filipino so that the respondent will be able to answer the question. The respondent will choose between the scale 4 to 1. 4 was labeled as strongly agree, 3 as agree, 2 as disagree, and 1 as strongly disagree. The questionnaire was divided in 3 parts. Part 1, Impact of Graphic Advertisement on Cigarette Packs. This contains statements answering the impact of graphic advertisement on cigarette packs to the respondents and how does it affect them. Part 2, Perceptions on Graphic Advertisement on Cigarette Packs. This contains statements answering how graphic advertisement on cigarette packs change the perceptions of the users. Let's proceed to data gathering procedure. The researchers will prepare a letter of request that addressed to Barangay Captain of Barangay Bagong Pook, Barangay Dos, and Barangay Cuatro to conduct the study. Thereafter, they will conceptualize and formulate the questionnaire. After the validation, the researchers will prepare the letter seeking for the permission from the respondents to make the research. After that, the researchers will validate the answer for their questions.
Let's move on statistical treatment of data. To determine the demographic profile of the respondents, the researchers will use rank as statistical tools. To determine the level of perceptions of the respondents on graphic advertisement on cigarette packs, the researchers will use verbal interpretation. To determine the impact of graphic advertisement on cigarette packs to the respondents, the researchers will use verbal interpretation. To determine the significant relationship between the demographic profile of the respondents to their perceptions, the researchers will use verbal interpretation. To determine the significant effect between the impact of graphic advertisement on cigarette packs to the perception of the respondents, the researchers will use verbal interpretations.